Okay. Okay, yeah, fingers crossed, Tracy. That's right. See if you can hear me now. Y'all have to let me know if it's working now. So it must have been that distant thunder that I heard. Maybe getting close. It may happen again, but I hope not. So y'all have to tell me if it's working. Okay, yes, it's working. All right, great. Okay, that's good. Sorry about that. That's the stormy weather for you, though, I guess. So it's weird. Y'all could see me, but you couldn't hear me, or we could have just continued on that one. So sorry about that again. Anyway, what I was saying was just how nice it was to have Corey here. And actually, she's here right here now. She's come down. So maybe she'll join us in a minute. She's eating her breakfast. But and I was telling the story about our family friends and how they would stay at each other's houses. They were family related, like how we're, of course, related to Corey.
I know what you're saying.
Anyway, and then the kids would sleep like horizontally on the bed so the more could fit. And they said we just loved each other and we just loved to spend time together. So why not, why not just stay with each other? We loved each other. So I always remember them telling me that. Corey can probably think about who it is. No, no, Katie's or Trace. It was wrong. Corey guessed wrong. Anyway, it was really sweet, and I'm glad that we have a close family like that too. So that was really, really nice. And I shared a little bit about the garden. I won't repeat all that stuff though, because then I'll be afraid that we'll. Oh, I know what else I was going to say. I'll be afraid we'll get cut off again. Last week I talked a little bit. Someone had asked if. About what we did to keep Granny in her house, and I named some things, and then y'all started naming stuff in the comments, and I was like, well, we did that too, and I didn't even think of it. So one of it is Granny has a life alert, like the thing you wear around your neck so you could push it, and we got that far. Paul got it far, actually. I don't know. I was still working at the college, but she got a really bad, like a urinary tract infection, and it was on the day that this all happened. I had been there that morning seeing her, and then Paul had been there, and he'd just left. But right when he left, she was cooking dinner, and she got real sick, and she kind of passed out or whatever in the floor in the kitchen, just kind of slid down, and then she couldn't get back up because she was so sick. And thank goodness my nephew Ben went to visit her, and he found her in the floor. So then after that, and she had to stay in the hospital and all this kind of stuff, Paul got the life alert for her. So we do that. That was one thing that y'all reminded me of. And then also a lot of you mentioned, I talked about the thing to hold on to in the bathtub. And a lot of you mentioned a bath chair. She uses a bath chair. She's done that for years. So I was like, how did I not even think of those things? And thank you so much for all of you that left tips about what to do to help yourself or anyone elderly that you know that ends up in that situation where they need some extra help, because you want them to be able to stay in their home, as long as possible. There's just some things you can do. So thank you so much to all of you who left suggestions and tips and details of what you've done for yourself or for others. Rhonda says, does Granny do Meals on Wheels? She doesn't. We have that in our area, but she doesn't do that just because we're all here, and Granny's really picky too. So she likes her own cooking. Doesn't she, Corey? Yeah. But that is available in our area, and it's a really great program. I'm really, really thankful for it. So let's see, what else was we going to talk about? I said, and I know all of you continue to pray for those in the storms and the fires and all that. We're praying this rain, even that thunder that knocked us off, that it will help, and all that stuff will be gone. We had some mugs yesterday. I put mugs back here. I'll just put the Etsy store here in the chat, and I'll put any links that I share down below too. But they sold out yesterday. I will list more on next Sunday until they're gone. I'll just keep listing them on Sunday, and then I'll ask Rob to make some more for us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, Susan, thank you. Thank you. You're very nice. Thank you. So I'll list more next Sunday and just keep doing that until they're gone. And you can also find our CDs, Paul and Pap's CDs. I think Corey's going to join me. Paul and Pap's CDs in there, and my mine and Jim Cassidy's cookbook. I have a few calendars left, not many, so you can visit there. So it's been nice having Corey. Oh, and we even match. I didn't realize that,
Yeah,
but
we
we
do.
do. We even match. Been nice having her and little Woodrow here.
I've enjoyed it.
Very, very nice. So even though she just got to walk back home, it's
Yeah.
still nice. Yeah, still really nice.
I went back home this morning to get Katie a pepper, and so I turned my little plant light on, and
Yeah, Corey's got starting her some plants and under grow lights. It's the first time you've ever done that,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
it's exciting.
So yeah, it is. It's fun to see them and little starts coming up. I've noticed my little peppers. I've just got a few upstairs. The second ones that I replanted where they didn't come up. The first ones are about that big. They're big. But I noticed yesterday that I'm gonna have to repot those because they're about that big now. Not all of them still didn't come up, but a few more come up. So I'm gonna repot those and put them out in the greenhouse too. And mostly from now on, everything will be safe in the greenhouse. Other than this is not warm weather yet. There's certainly going to be a lot more frost, and then there'll be a couple of nights that get really, really cold. And on those nights, we have a little heater out there. We'll turn the heater on, and that should help them. So I wanted to share Paul's songs before I forget from last week. So
Where'd you get your earrings, Mama?
My earrings, actually, Miss Cindy gave me these probably, gosh,
That's what I thought.
close to 20 years ago. Most all the earrings I wear come from Miss Cindy. So last week, Paul shared for his old time, it was him and Granny again. If That Isn't Love, that's a beautiful song.
I haven't actually watched him doing it yet, but that's on my little save to watch later.
Corey and Katie was actually talking about that song this morning, that they might sing that for Easter. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. So you can go listen to Granny and Paul singing that. And then the other one, Corey, you probably ain't heard this one either. It is a song I'd never heard before, but Paul, Dark Whiskey Night, Paul's friend Josh Griggs, who I have an interview with Josh on here, and then Jeremy Locke, they wrote it many years ago. I think Paul talks about it after he plays the song, and he uses a really unique guitar in that one too. And if you go and listen to it, you can hear him talk about how long ago Josh wrote it. It's been a long time ago, Josh and the other gentleman. Anyway, it's a really good one. And the guitar Paul uses is is it a resonator, Paul, Corey? Is that what it's called with the metal?
Yeah. So.
Anyway, it's really, really neat song. So you can go and check that out.
I'll have to watch that too.
Yeah, it's really it's a good story. It tells a good story, but it's a good one. Yeah, for sure. Trying to see what else, Corey. You got anything you want to talk about?
I don't know. I'm excited about gardening, and I feel like I didn't do much last year, of course, because I was big pregnant and then had Woody at the end of June. So I'm excited. Some of my flowers and well, you've seen them, but in the big flower bed that we planted, a lot of them are coming back. So that was exciting to see. Because I was thinking about what I was going to put in there, but now some of them are coming back. So I'm excited about gardening and figuring that out. And, we've built some new beds and that's exciting. We did all that at our old house and, kind of got everything prepared and then left it behind. But that's really cool, though, because the lady who bought our house loves to garden. So that's neat.
So that was probably a selling point for her.
Yeah. The realtor, said that that's something we should. So getting excited about gardening. I got that going on, and I was thinking for supper I might try a new roll recipe using the Acorn flour.
That sounds good. Yeah.
I might, if I get really adventurous. It was funny, last night I went home to shower real quick while Woody was asleep and get some stuff, and I come back, and before I left I said, I want to it'd be good if we had some kind of dessert. And as soon as I come back in the house, I could smell dessert in the oven, and I thought someone's made dessert. But I brought sticks of butter and raisins and some different stuff to make cookies, and then I was like, well, Mama's made a chess cake, we'll just eat that. So I might make those oatmeal cookies tonight if I get the chance.
That would be good. That would be, that sounds good. Oh, good, Jennifer. We're glad you liked that. Let's see. Someone asked me, I would love to have zip-up hoodies. I'll see if I can look into that. Yeah. That was Diane, I think. And then let's see. Elisa said, do you grow acorn squash? I have grown them in the past, but I found that, we just didn't eat them as much as the things that we like to eat, the butternut and the cushaws. That just fits what we do better, and the pumpkin. So those are the three, the winter ones I usually grow. Those are the ones we like the best and seem the most versatile for what we eat. So how do you spell einkorn, Corey? And I was calling it iron corn. I put that R in it in one of my videos, so I really confused people. They're like, "What is iron corn?" I said, "That's an Appalachian thing. We got to throw an R into everything." Yeah.
It's spelled Einkorn. It's kind of an interesting spelling. I say einkorn. I wonder if it's more like incorn. I'm not sure. I say einkorn, but it's wheat. It's just an ancient version of wheat.
Mm-hmm. Gayla, I don't know if it'll let me make that first one available since it quit off like that, but you didn't really miss anything other than, like I was talking about. I was glad Corey was here, and in the garden, I got to put out a little bit of mulch over the weekend, really composted mulch, and that was about all you missed, and that we were all doing well, even though I sound kind of funny. I'm okay. I think somebody asked if we had allergies. It's not allergies. It's a little viral virus that Ira got from little kids at church, and then give it to Katie and me. We're the only two so far that's had it, and I think that's Will, because it's been I guess 2 weeks now. I just can't seem to get rid of the sound, but I'm okay. Yeah. So I don't know if YouTube will let me make that one available, because it was acting really weird, and then it just quit, and people could see me, but they couldn't hear me. Anyway, I think it was the storm.
I like that. Santa Claus says hello from the North Pole.
Yeah, hello from the North Pole. I'd still like a big snow, but I guess I better just quit saying that, because now I've got vegetables growing in the garden.
We don't want the snow now.
Snowing on the cabbage. Although I've got pictures. It has happened where there's a lot of the blooms are bloomed out, and there's snow on them just a little bit. Maybe a skiff, like we would say, maybe an inch of snow or something like that. So sometimes that can happen, even later in the spring. Everything's bloomed out, and then you get one of those really cold spells. So that can definitely happen. Let's see. Let me share some of the. Look back at my notes. I want to share some of the wisdom, though, from y'all. I had a few people send me some.
Someone was asking if I would make more soap. I want to at some point. I want to get my soap supplies from the basement here, maybe, and take them down there. I was thinking I could probably make it in the kitchen.
This was from my friend Ed Ammons. This was actually on the blog, but I thought it was great. We were talking about pulpwood cutting, so that's just like a hard labor job. So he said that don't seem like a very efficient way to earn a living, but you've got to do with what you have to do with. Hey, Tipper, here's another words of wisdom, is what he's saying. So I really like that. It reminded me, Corey, of Pap. He would say that. He might even say, old son, if he was, talking to Matt or something. You got to work with what you got. That's just it. You got to work with what you got. Now, most of the time he was talking about not tools and stuff like that, although it could be that, but more like Ed's saying, if that's the only way you could make a living, then that's just what you had to do. You just got to deal with your lot in life, I guess, is another way to say it.
That reminds me of, I think it's Philippians 4:11 about being content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Jackie Townsend sent me a great one, said, God will see you through when others believe you are through. That's a good one, isn't it? God will see you through when others believe you are through. So that one's really great. Really great. Thank you for sending that one. Whoops, let's see. Now, this was some of the ones that had been left. Annie left several. A stitch in time saves 9. That's probably, a lot of you've heard that one's an old one. He who forgives ends the quarrel. That comes from Annie. I like that one. That one's hard to do sometimes, but it's so true. And Annie said, don't count your chickens before they hatch. You or Katie one was trying to say that one this weekend. One of y'all was something, but you didn't say chickens. You said something else. I said, are you trying to say don't?
It must have been Katie. I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was she was saying, but it was funny. She's like, I said, I think you're trying to say. Yeah. This was from Jerry. Jerry said, I don't know if this is actually a word of wisdom, but my Appalachian mama used to say, every old crow thinks hers is the blackest, admitting to the fact that every mother thinks her little offspring is the most exceptional little thing that ever was. So many of my friends remember her saying this when we were all at the stage of starting our families. We still laugh about it. I think it applies to grandchildren as well, Ha. I like that, Jerry, and I've heard that one too. And it's true. We all think our children are special. That's for sure. This one was from Lady A6841. Something my grandma would say to us as kids when we asked how long something was going to take, like supper or getting to a destination. She'd say, you know what the old butcher said when the monkey got his tail caught in the meat grinder. It won't be long now, LOL. That's terrible, but so funny, so funny.
It won't be long now.
She had so many. She had so many sayings and funny words. I took care of her and my grandpa until they went to heaven. I still miss them so much. They only lived less than a mile, and we were always there. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for sharing that. It goes right along with what I was talking about the closeness of families. This is from Joanne. Here's a good saying: those that matter don't mind. Those that mind don't matter. That's a good one too. That's a really good one. This one, I'm sorry it cut off, but it's Lyl. Maybe it was going to be Lila. I'm not sure though. One saying I try to remember because I'm a worrier is if, Corey, you're going to like this one, is if you worry, why pray? And if you pray, why worry? I also like this one. If you woke up tomorrow with only the things you thanked God for today, what would you have? I really like those.
Yeah,
those are great.
Those are really
Yeah,
good.
they're really good ones. Thank
I
you.
have to remind myself a lot when I pray about something and try to worry. I'm like, yeah, but you prayed about that. You better drop it.
Yeah. Rhonda said, words of wisdom from my grandmother. Some people live and learn, and some people just live. That's a good one. We can all learn so much from our mistakes and experiences and all that. Lisa said, this is something I always told my girls when they became mothers. Words of wisdom. Children learn what they live. Set good examples. That's from Lisa from Oklahoma. That is so true. That's a great one. And Granny actually has a little poem printed out. A lot of you may have seen it. I think it used to be, you'd often see it in like pediatricians' offices and everything, in places like that. I think that's where Granny first found it or noticed it or whatever. And she loves poems. So she has it framed and has it beside a picture of me and Steve and Paul. So that's really, really a great one. It's so true. And I wish every child could have that good life to learn that, you know. Patricia says, my mom always used some old sayings, and one of the things she told us that often was that can't never could do nothing. Can't never could do nothing. I bet you've heard that one, ain't you, Corey?
Oh, yeah.
You might have heard that one from me.
Growing up in school, the teachers, if someone would ask, can I go to the bathroom? The teachers would always tell the kids, I don't know, can you? And they would say, may I go to the bathroom?
That's funny. Michelle said, wisdom, what you feed grows and what you starve dies, good or bad. That's a really deep one to think about. Kim said, my words of wisdom for today are to make the most of gathering memories and share them with your loved ones. Life is so precious. So true, Kim. Those are the things that matter. M2 Elvis Music said, wow, there's nothing to fear when your lifeguard walks on water. And that was from Nadine on Larry's Country Diner, if you've ever seen that one. That's a great one, and one we should all remember. Karen said the most important things in life are not things. Kind of goes back with what Kim was saying. Joella said, wisdom is a byproduct of living. That's true. That's why it takes, sometimes Corey and Katie ask me stuff about life, and I'm like, but I'm way older than you are. That's why I look at it like this, or that's why, how I know this or whatever. I was, it takes experiences and learning and living before you have that. And not to say that I'm wise. I'm not trying to say that. But even if they're just asking me something like, how did you know that? Well, I've been around a lot longer than you have. That's how. Holman's Homestead said, words of wisdom. I recently heard this and I thought it was too good not to share. You can't catch new blessings if both your hands are full of what you want to keep holding on to instead of letting God lead you to your new blessings. That's really so true. So often we want to hold on um, it's like I want God to help me and I want him to do, but I'm like, well, here's my list and here's exactly how you should do it and the time frame. And, you try to put all these restraints instead of just letting him do what he knows is best, which of course will be best for us. Kimberly said, my words of wisdom I used to tell my 3 girls is if you wouldn't do it in front of your mama or a cop, you most likely shouldn't be doing it. This was during their teenage years. Luckily, they listened well, and now they use it on their kids. I like that. That's pretty simple. Plain talk, Matt would say. That's plain talk.
It'd be good to tell the boys when they get older.
Yeah, that's plain talk. Enlightened said, one of my husband's sayings that makes me feel so blessed to have found him is this, so blessed to have found him is this, every day can't be Sunday. If I forgot something from the store that he asked for or run out of time to do something I said I would do, that's what he says. Every day can't be Sunday. He's the easiest man to be married to. So I'm so glad that you have that good marriage, but that's so true. Every day can't be. And I think sometimes today, especially in today's society, we try to act like it can be perfect. It's not. It's never going to be. Not in this lifetime. There's always going to be troubles and trials, and even aggravations like forgetting something at the store, or I said I'd do that, and I'm sorry I didn't get to do it. Even that. Let's see. This one was from. I think it's God is Sovereign. I agree so much with your wisdom share. That's been on my mind recently too. We never know what's around the bend, and we really need to appreciate the beautiful moments while we're in them. I really believe that's a huge part of having a thankful heart and enjoying God's blessings on us. I'm always thinking about what Jesus said. It's one of my favorite words of wisdom. Sufficient to the day is the evil thereof. That's really good, and it is being thankful, grateful, whatever you want to call it, really does can change your outlook for sure, and make you realize um, just what's important and how blessed you are. Benita said, when she was raising her, when I was raising my girls, a place where would say this, she taught them this, a place for everything and everything in its place. And then said she makes a run through her house every night and does that, makes sure everything's in its place. That's really great.
I do that.
Great way to be. I don't, but I should. I do kind of though. I make like after supper, I make sure the kitchen's put to rest for the next day. And I guess I kind of do it.
I get obsessive over that.
Yeah, that's okay. Elizabeth said, I was thinking about some of the wisdom that has been given, and it got me thinking about something that was told to me. The 2 most important words in your walk in faith is but God. I sometimes forget that, but God can fix everything. Really great, Elizabeth. Thank you. Michelle said, change how you see, not how you look. That's one of those really deep ones that you can really study on and think about it. Think about how we look at the stuff around us. Really deep. I'm so glad y'all continue to share the bits of wisdom. I hope you'll continue to do that. They're so important, I think, to dwell on and think about, but then they're so encouraging, don't you think, Katie? Or Corey, sorry, calling you Katie. Don't you think they are, Corey?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was reading somebody's chat. I think they said, well, there's Corey, but where's Katie? Katie's upstairs with the boys. She's wrangling the boys. So anyway, I think it's really, really important to think about those things. And I'm glad all of you keep sharing them. You just keep doing it week after week. And
there's lots of good stuff.
Yeah, they stick in my mind, and I dwell on them and think about them and think about how wise they are, and how much truth is in them, how much, I don't know, meat, I guess, the reality, is in them, and how important it is. So I really appreciate that, and I hope you'll continue to do that. You gonna go home, you said?
I might try to let Woody nap here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
We're
good.
at nap time or past nap time, so
Yeah, he may be asleep.
he might be.
Katie may have him asleep.
I may just let him try to sleep here. I brought my computer, so
I'm going to go upstairs and go to my shipping center and start shipping
station.
stuff. Yeah, and go to the post office. We hope that you all have a really wonderful week, and I'm always glad when you stop by on Monday mornings to chat with me, and I'm glad Corey's with us this morning.
I know this is fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I'm sorry about that first glitched out. That was the storm. Wish I've not heard any more thunder, just that one big clap of thunder, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, but we wish you all well. Hope you have a great week. We love you all, and we'll see you next time.